Hey guys, I'm Annie Designs and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is part 2 of my Scrap Epic Challenge 2020 second attempt. My second challenge, my original design of Princess Zelda. So if you haven't seen part 1, be sure to check that out. It came out last week. This is part 2 where I am going to be working on the details of the costume. Most of the sewing is done. The bodice and the skirt were finished over in the original part 1. So now it's time for the accessories such as the tabard, the crown, the belt, and the wig. So let's get going on that, and hopefully I can show you some really nice footage at the end of this. So now that the top is done and the skirt is done, it's time to figure out details such as the tabard. So I have cut out a piece in some newsprint over here to figure out sizing. So let's get a full look at that. So I'm actually liking that size quite a bit. I don't want it to be too big, especially because for color balance reasons and for darks and lights and all of that. I already have these giant sleeves. So I'm going to figure out patterning on this now using the newsprint on the table and go from there. Also, hello Maggie, you are adorable and thank you for not touching the white or the cream color of the skirt. You're so cute. So off camera, I went and finished off cutting out all the other gold pieces, and I also interfaced and pressed the blue pieces, which will be the main body of the tabard, as well as the lining side. Now I have to hand baste all of these into place so that I can then apply it on the machine with no slipping problems. So let's get going on that. It is now a few days later. The tabard is done and all the sewing for the costume is finished. Today I just finished the bias strip belt as well as what will be the choker. So now all I have left to do is the accessories. So I have on the sketch some little ideas for how I'm going to shape the accessories. I'm probably going to go off of that and kind of play around and see what I get. That's the fun thing about original design. You can kind of do whatever you want. If you feel like you want to work with this shape at that one moment, that's what you can do. So I will be using foam clay from Art Wigs Canada. I love this stuff, and I always have a little bit left over from my other projects. So I'm going to go in and use some of this to sculpt all the details for the crown as well as the belt. And I have all these gems, some of which I've used on the tabard as well. Just really simple ones, kind of on the cheaper side, but you know what? It's what I have, and using them well can still be really pretty. So I'm going to use some of those in all the pieces. So I'm going to start playing out some shapes and stuff and see what I get. And with that, my foam clay accessories are finished. So this is the belt. This here will be where I put some little gems that match the tiara. So that will be attached to the bias belt here. And then I have the little tiara here, which is going to dry on my mannequin head. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the shapes I ended up with, and I referenced quite a few different designs of Princess Zelda to come up with a design here, so I hope that when finished they read well as Princess Zelda. So as the foam pieces are all curing over to the side, and I have to wait to finish them off, it is time for me to work on the wig. So as mentioned before, the wig I'll be using is an Arwen Classic from Art Wigs Canada. It is absolutely lovely. It's one of their longer styles. I mean, just look at this thing. And it is a lace front, meaning I can do a lot with the hairline and such. So I'm going to start probably by brushing it and probably giving it a little bit of a straighten job so I can alter the curls a little bit. I'm not sure yet because those curls are lovely. I'm probably going to play around with some braiding and stuff like that, so we'll see where it goes because this is an original design, so I'm going to see where my hair design goes with it. Let's have some fun. So it's now the next day and my pieces are now dry. So there they are, nice looking. They definitely have their rough edges, so I'm now gonna have to sand them down before I can even consider painting them. And I also have made a new decision after putting this up against where I've worn the wig that I am going to be bringing it upside down from its original intended direction, which was this way. I find it turned out looking a lot nicer this way, so that's the fun part about original designs, that you can do stuff like this. So that is what I'm going to do for this particular piece. So now I'm going to sand them so I can finish them off and then put all the costume together, because at this point they're the only thing holding me back from finishing this whole thing. Keep in mind that when you do things like sanding, you should wear protective gear. I unfortunately don't have any other masks available to me, but I did make this one for the whole COVID-19 outbreak. And I have glasses on, hopefully that will help a little bit. Luckily, I'm not doing so much sanding that this will be incredibly dangerous, but do keep in mind that when you are sanding, especially larger things, you should wear protective gear so you don't get dust in your eyes or inhale it. Now let's get sanding. With that, the costume is now completed. I actually just came home from photo shooting and taking some video shots of the costume, and I have some final notes to talk about. So basically, I'm surprised by how much I look like Sansa Stark in the wig. Was not expecting that. A pleasant surprise. I might have to add her to my to-do list now. And I'm overall happy with how the design all came together. I like the way the colors look, and I like the way the silhouette ended up looking. Definitely want to try doing more original designs again in the future. So I'll run by some clips after this of the final costume as well as some pictures over to this side over here. So let me know what you think of the final costume, final design, and if you want to know more about my design process or what influenced what aspect of the costume, feel free to ask below. I have it all mentally in here on what influenced what on the costume and what versions of Zelda influenced at different aspects of the design. So remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Run the clips.